Hello there. Today we are going to the KATO Hobby Center near Ochiai in Tokyo. So why this late? Because in Friday evening right now they have like some sort of event on the second floor for a rental layout where you can go and you run your trains in like darkness, I guess. So if you have lights, it's really cool. So in front of the store you can see that they have this engine exposed. I think right now you can visit if you buy 500 yen, so like $3 or something worth of stuff. You can go inside. So let's see what's inside. So we are in the lobby right now, and they're exposing a module that was made by high school students. So they have a contest each year that's held in Shinjuku. I went there. I made a video about it, but I don't think I recall seeing this one. So the model rail contest, and these students, I'm not sure if they're from Kyoto, but they made a diorama about Kyoto at least. So you have this temple that is really famous in Kyoto, I don't remember the name, all the torii, the Golden Temple, a bunch of other stuff that is quite famous. I'm not sure if they won, but at least it's exposed here. When I went, it was around close to 200 schools participating, including some schools from Taiwan, like 2 or 3 schools from Taiwan. So they have a bunch of stuff exposed, as you can see here. So mostly N scale as it's KATO, but they also make some HO stuff. So let's go inside. So on the first floor, they have a huge exhibition layout. Really big, so we'll see it when we go upstairs. The second floor is right there with the rental layout. So we'll look at it later. Quite detailed. With different areas and different train running. So you can see here, I think it's a E8 Tsubasa, I think. Some diesel right here. So it's really big. I think it's all DC. They have some partnerships sometimes with some clubs that can run their trains on this and they turn it into DCC. I've seen some, I think it was USA Rail or something, but basically they model a lot of American stuff. And they go there. They also have events with other clubs on the second floor. They also do some stuff like festival or some market on the 5th floor as well. So they have a lot of stuff going on. They have the container that they released for the 60th anniversary of KATO, KATO brand. It's that old, yeah. So if you are in Japan and you want to purchase stuff, I don't necessarily recommend the KATO store because it's full price. They have the tax-free, of course, but they don't have any discount, any point system. So it's not necessarily what I would recommend, but it's also an option. I mean, with the tax-free, it will not be close in price, but it will definitely improve for sure. But like Tekon, Imon, Copondetta will definitely be more interesting. So we also have a Unitram setup, but I never seen it used. Some HO track right here as well. We also have some stuff under for like subway station, as you can see. A lot of train station and tracks, buildings. I'm not sure if it's all KATO or not, because I don't remember KATO making this many buses, for instance, so I think a lot of them must be Tomix. But interesting thing, in this store they also sell some other brands. Not only KATO products, I mean mostly KATO of course, like 90%. So it's definitely worth a detour. It's also nearby Recolor, which is one big rental layout in Tokyo. Another big one is in Skytown, but this one is in Ikebukuro. So check it out if you have the opportunity. Yep, someone fishing right there. They recently started 3D printing a lot of figurines and stuff. So they have some new dolphins. I don't know if it was here before. Maybe it's new. I don't know if they do a lot of construction on this layout. But they do have some new stuff. For now it's a bit expensive, but it's available at least, so maybe we'll see even more stuff. Let's go. They are also working at the moment on a prototype of I don't know if it's Yamanote or another line, but basically with a camera that will be directly in the train and you can charge with USB-C. So unlike a lot of them which are working through the rail electricity, it will be more reliable and maybe better quality and not subject to flickering like some of them can be. So they have also like an autumn area, but the one I like the most is the winter scene. With a lot of snow and everything. It's my favorite part, maybe not the most detailed here as you can see, but I like the snow effect. But I tried the KATO snow and I was really disappointed. I prefer the what is that, Scenic? I don't know the brand, American brand, and it was indeed miles better, really way better, but they're selling it here anyway. I really bought it also from the KATO store. We also have an HO layout, but it's not used at the moment. And I mentioned on the second floor the rental layout, they have an N scale and an HO scale. HO1 is less used definitely and way less impressive, I want to say, but it's there. They also have a bunch of rail-related stuff. If you want some some chopsticks, I had some. I don't recommend the Shinkansen one. They broke too easily. I think this one is more reliable, but it's there. Some socks, some towels. So we can see some stuff from the history of KATO. I don't know which train they made it first, but maybe it's this one, the 650. I'm not 100% sure, but it's quite old. The first foreign train they made, though, it's a TGV Sud-Est in '83, I believe. So it's also quite old, and they release this year in April a new version, new mold and everything. So definitely an improvement. So right now, I remember seeing an interview about the CEO, and they will try to make more foreign stuff and maybe more fantasy stuff. That's what they said, because they opened a new factory in Saitama, a bigger one. So in the coming years, I definitely think we'll see an increase in what they are making. Yeah, Woodland Scenic, that's the brand name I was looking for. So they have a bunch of stuff available from them, from Nock as well, Praiser, bunch of different stuff really. So yeah, definitely worth to check. And they also recently made for HO an adapter in MDF for the turntable. This one is the N-scale one that is modified with this kit. So that's what it is basically. No, they don't show it here. So how to use the rental layout? When you spend 500 yen, they should give you like a little ticket to use the rental layout on the floor. They don't necessarily give it to you if you're a foreigner. They never gave it to me without asking, so I had to ask. So yeah, ask. And also if you buy multiple products, you can buy one, get the ticket, buy another one, get the ticket. It's definitely a possibility. Ooh. GR500. So they also have a bunch of buildings and set. So if you buy the M2 and the M1, which are like some just track kits basically, they're cheaper than if you buy everything separated. So it's definitely an idea if you want to save some money. So make sure to check that they have everything you are looking for, like especially the V4 or some other stuff with a lot of turnouts, which can be quite expensive. But you can also find some easily used sets, like a starting set like the Yamanote, etc., for like 5,000-7,000 yen, so like $35 or $30 or 35 euros, something like this, or the opposite. I started actually with this one. I paid around 7,000, I think. So basically you have the power pack, the tracks, and the 3 cars, including the motorized one. But if you want to DCC this one, it's 3 decoders, one for this one for this one for this one. So it can be expensive to go through DCC, especially if it's not DCC ready. So they expose everything they are selling at the moment. So as I said, they do have some HO stuff, but it will definitely be limited. They do have some pretty stuff, and as we'll see later, not only KATO. So for instance, here they have some Peiko stuff that you can actually buy, and it's not just to expose. They have some partnership, like this one for the narrow gauge, for steam prints. So HON or double O. Some mini train stuff as well. It can be quite expensive if it's imported stuff. Some HO stuff, which is usually, same with Tomix, more expensive than the N-scale stuff, at least in Japan. And some stuff is also limited to be exported, so some stores, Japanese store, will not send it in Europe, like the new TGV, or some American stuff, they will not send it to the USA. So it's like a deal with the exportation company. So see here, they made some new stuff for Thomas the Tank Engine in, I don't know what scale, HO or double O? Not 100% sure, but you can change the face, it's 3D printed. Same here with this little guy right there, 3D printed. And you can see the different faces. We have a bunch for sale, and it's 2,800 yen, so it's like $15, so it can be a bit expensive. But I don't think the original ones can change. I don't think like Bachmann making some has something to change the face, so it's an option. They also have some figures, less than some brands specialized in it. Like this one, I think I don't remember the name, but I've been to their store yeah, it's Takeda, right? They have a store in Yorakucho. Basically, they scan people and they 3D print them. So it's really high quality. It's not necessarily people who want to be sitting in the train, but it's really high quality. Like, I think definitely more detail. So they have also a bunch of HO stuff. Unfortunately, the Panda, they don't come in N-scale. You can see this one, it's also 3D printed. Some Tanuki with the big balls. No, I'm not joking. Sorry about shaking. But they won't have figurine of European or American stuff. For this, you will have to check other brands that they have as well. So in Japan, the model train scene is quite big, so they have a lot of different commuters train, as well as freight train. So I don't know that much about them because it's not my country, I'm not that familiar. If you want the biggest steam, Japanese steam, it will be the C62. But it's not like the big boy, so don't expect that much. Definitely nowhere close in size. If you want an amazing puller, I recommend the EH, because it's like 2 trains in one, so it's really heavy. One motor only, but all 4 bogie are connected and will pull. So it's quite strong, and you can also replace one half with a motorized one that you can buy in spare parts. So if you want a good puller, that's my recommendation right there. We also have EH 500, 200, and 300, I believe. Maybe not here for sale, but it's available. Some diesel, or the new DD51 in Hokkaido. Sorry if I go too fast, there's a lot to cover. They have a huge amount of stuff. Like if you want to see some model exposed, unlike the store like Popon d'État, Imon, and so on, they don't expose, it's everything behind books and stuff. So here everything. The Sagawa one was quite recently released, so the motor is hiding inside one of the container. Really neat. And it comes with 2, but only one is motorized, I think. Sagawa being a famous shipping company in Japan. So also, if you want spare parts, Imon and Yeah, the KATO store maybe is the only places where they have the most stocks for spare parts. They also have a lot of foreign stuff, like I said. Here are some Switzerland stuff, like the Glacier Express in the Alps, Bernina Express, and some more other European stuff like the Ice, the Wigo Spanish one. This is the new Inouï that was released recently. They both come in two different sets. So you have the one with the 5 extra cars and the basic one with the 2 motor cars. So one is motorized, the other is a dummy. First class, second class, I mean for the Inouï, because the Wigo doesn't have, it's just second class, and the Bark one. The Ice also is the same principle, except it's 4 basic, an extension of 5 and another extension of 3. So they have some partnership with Model Ban Union or something. I don't know this brand, so I cannot. With Lemke also, I think Lemke is like did a lot of deals to import stuff, European stuff in Europe. We also have some English stuff. They got rid. They had the JWR. They had the Paddington one exposed. I'm guessing they sold it. Really beautiful, really nice. And for the American viewers, some Amtrak stuff. So I don't know any of those. I think it's a shame they don't have the new one they have near New York, the TGV, American TGV in a way. I don't remember the name, but it's based on the TGV-M, I believe. They have the EMU 3000 from Taiwan. So if you're from Taiwan and if you're Taiwanese, it might be something you might care. So I don't know if it's cheaper here than in America, but I think so. Like 15,000 yen for this one seems okay. And you can see that it's, for those like me who are not familiar, it's mostly diesel and really few electrical. The Union Pacific stuff we'll show it a bit later, the big boy. Let's see, where are you? Beautiful big boy. I heard people were really happy about it and can handle quite small curves. I think it's 283 millimeters, so quite short compared to the size at least. And it's too long for the turntable. So if you buy a turntable and you want to use it on this one, if you buy the KATO one or the Tomix one, it will definitely be too short. So we also have the water tank, I think, that comes with it. And a lot of diesels ones that's with different liveries. I don't know them, so I will just, yeah. So this one I think goes behind, or maybe the other one, I'm not sure which one. But they have one diesel like this that will go behind the big boy for dynamic braking, because they don't make the parts for braking in the big boy. So that's the option they came up with. I think it's still circulating somewhere, I'm not sure where in the US. But it's, every time I see a video I'm like, wow. So a bunch of Canadian stuff, I think. I mean, I see Canadian Pacific. Not sure if it's for freight or everything, something else. Micro trains with 3D printed tanks to invade Greenland, I guess. Oh, I didn't know they made the circus cars with animals inside. Oh, that's really cool. Let's see if we can get some closer look. That's really neat. I know they sold one with Boeing. I don't think they have it here. Some with 3D printed stuff. I remember seeing one with a Boeing engine attached. They don't have it all. And then you see the price. I'm okay. So still spare parts, everything. They also sell some containers. The Oga Karudo is one of the main ones. So this one, Oga Kado, sorry. A lot of containers. They only make containers. Popondetta also makes some. But this company is the one making a lot. Let's just say that. They also have some cars, some vehicles for maintenance and stuff, and a lot of just the, I'm not sure the word in English, but the cover basically, like just the shell. That's what I was looking for everything except mostly for Japanese. I don't think I've ever seen American. I stand corrected. They have some for the Switzerland models, but I don't think I've seen TGV or American stuff. I could be wrong, but I'm surprised they have this one actually. Usually they really don't. So let's see what's behind. Let's see if we are lucky and we can see some. Dr. Yellow, Hayabusa, Tsubasa, Yamagata. Yeah, more. I'm surprised. I was not expecting to see this. So yeah, if you want some spare parts, definitely stop by here. More spare parts, more spare parts. We get it. They have spare parts. More spare parts. So here you have just the car itself, the engine itself. Yeah, you don't have the bogie, but you have the rest. So yeah, if you have some issues, definitely come here. They might have what you are looking for. Depending if it's Japanese or not, they might not have it, because they definitely stock up more on Japanese stuff. So if you, let's see, they just released recently the TGV, so I bought a lot of spare pantographs, because usually they don't come out again, and you cannot buy them, or not easily and not cheap. So yeah, definitely same with the boards. I know they sell some decoders from Digitrax also, compatible with the DCC Really KATO one. And obviously a lot of tracks. So here it's their HO selection. They don't have as much as N as I mentioned, but I heard the Unitrack in HO is also quite nice. But unlike the N scale, it doesn't come plugged in right away. I think you need to buy some extra stuff, while the N scale one has already the cable coming out, a bit like this. But this one you need to plug it or something for the turnout, while in N scale you cannot take it out unless you cut it or unscrew and do something inside, but I never checked. Rerailer in HO. I wish it was this long in N scale, would be helpful. A lot of Pico stuff. HO double O. A Pico track. Oh, they have really great for flex track. Really convenient. I don't use flex track, so I'm not sure how hard it is, but they make this for a reason, I guess. So they also have Unitram section. So I've bought it, but it's like really expensive and quite limited. Maybe you can make it yourself. I mean, it works. Don't get me wrong, it works. It's a bit expensive though. Like one turnout is almost 8,000 yen, so you can find it for like 5,500 in other stores, maybe less. But it's an issue. So they have a lot of stuff. And they also have a new, I mean not that new now, but it was new not that long ago, for compact tracks. So you can make a really compact circuit with, you'll see a really short curve for the turnout. So it's really nice if you have not a lot of space, and if you don't have a lot of space, and if you have a train that can handle those. Everything for electric. So they have half unit joiner that you will have to use in some parts, like I think in the turntable and some other stuff where you don't have the space. Viaduct joiner for the viaduct. Insulated unit joiner if you want a separate section, normal unit joiner. It's a unit joiner where you can feed literally the tracks, so it's quite convenient. And here we get to the main dish. All the track pack they have in N scale, or most of them at least. So one of the issues with the tracks like this, the double ones, is that they are curved. So meaning you cannot connect it with other curves or straight. There's a specific order. So if you can see here, this one, the small one, is made to connect with this on one side, and those will not be able to connect with the straight one or other curves. So you're quite limited in what you want to do with the tracks like this. So be careful if you buy this. A lot of curves and stuff, bridges, everything you might need. They also have, with Just Plug, they sell some lighting system. Can be convenient, but I know Tomix is working on a system where you can literally, I'm not sure how it works exactly, I'm not an expert, but basically it will use the electricity of the rail just by being next to it, not touching, not connecting, so a bit like the charge without contact or something. So it's up to 15 centimeters. They developed this in partnership with the university. So you can see they have some Tomitech stuff, as I said. They also have Tsugawa, which is another brand. They do some stuff and some joke trains, I guess. Like I've made a video about a dog train, if you want to check it out. Oh, I didn't know Tomitech made cardboard one buildings. Cheaper and easier to pack, I guess. So a lot of different buildings that they will have. And they recently released some Switzerland stuff for the layout to go with all the Switzerland stuff they released. So it's an option. but a lot of buildings. And unfortunately they look quite toy-like, plasticky, so you might want to paint them, wash them with some wash, I guess. So it's an option. And the buildings with all glass, they look quite empty, so you might want to try to fill them or do something. And they also sell quite a lot of stuff to make your own decors, but it's not KATO brand, I think. A lot of the stuff is Woodland Scenics. You also have some mold to make your rocks. And I don't recommend the snow from KATO. I bought the Woodland Scenics one, it's miles away, way better. I really don't recommend it. And so they also sell T-track modules. So if you don't know, T-track is a specific type of modules made to be connected to each other. So you go in convention, you bring your module, you connect it with other people modules. So they sell those of MDF, quite reliable, and they give you the track with it and the feeder, normally. So it's an option if you don't want to cut it yourself, I want to say. Oh, they're in stock now. They were out of stock. Ooh, I'm thinking. Because they were out of stock for a while, so it's risers to make an incline, 2% incline from Woodland Scenics, quite convenient. 3% and 4%, it's a bit much for me. And tempted. The new KATO controller AC1, which is supposed to be quite realistic. They also sell a sound box, but they don't have all sound cards for every train. So for instance, for TGV, they don't have anything. So keep this in mind. And it's all for DC, obviously. Now we're on the second floor of the KATO store with a rental layout in the dark for the night run if you want. So you won't see much details of the rental layout since it's in the dark. And behind you will see the HO layout, we'll check later. They did an event recently with Thomas and Friends. So they have, I think it's HO or double O, something like that. Just for Thomas the tank. And behind the HO layout, it's like panels they can remove to make a bigger room for like events and stuff. So you can see I put some people inside. Maybe you don't see. And they have... So for 500 yen you give the ticket here and you can run your trains for like 25 minutes, or if you come first thing in the morning it's like 50. They have a big train station area. So they have a lot of stuff so that kids can watch. Unlike most rental layouts, they don't have any switches and stuff you can play with. So it's really more for kids to discover. They can actually lend you some trains. It's really what it is about. It's still fun to do. Especially since they can lend you one and kids can try with cheap trains, I want to say. They have the Dr. Yellow, Hayabusa, Yamanote, and I think they have a Steam one, but I'm not 100% sure. So it's still quite a nice layout. Less light than Enskelton or Recolor, less detailed also, but still nice. So I recommend to check it out. The store especially, because if you just come for the rental layout, it's nothing major. So they do this every Friday, starting 4 p.m. So, and it's recently, I've been here for 2 years, I don't think I've ever seen this, so maybe it's new. They do some, like once a month or once every 2 months, they do some run in the dark like this, but not every Friday, it's new. So they turned on the lights again so you can see a bit more. In the middle we have some stuff, it's always been like this for the last 2 years as far as I'm aware, so don't expect much. It's not as detailed as some layout you can find, you don't have any switches and stuff, but remember, like they have this, it's made for kids and big kids like me, I guess. still well made, I think. So it's still fun, but no switches or anything. No way to park your trains and have another one. You cannot have to. But yeah. Sorry, I went a bit too fast, but it still took a lot of time. So the same if you want to park your trains in this, you cannot. Like you have, maybe if you manually switch them, but I don't know if it's allowed. I've never seen anyone doing it. While in Recolor and Scale Town, Popon Data layout, Imon, you have switches that you can play with. The HO rental layout. Usually it's unused. I've seen some old people come with like their Tenshodo model or something, or Katsumi, so like expensive HO stuff made of brass. Like 400,000 yen one model, or 200,000 yen, so like 2-3 months rent. So it's not as detailed and as full, but it's there. It's there, for sure. So we also have a bunch of dioramas exposed. Some T-Track modules. So we do some events, T-Track events here from time to time. And usually behind those panels they open and there's like a big room they use for some expositions, some events. It depends. So like recently they had the G-Track Society last week, and this week it's another club that will be demonstrating like DCC stuff, etc. They have a Lapos TGV, which is cool because it doesn't exist. KATO hasn't made this one, so that's nice. So they also have on the 5th floor, if you take the elevator right here, they have some other stuff. They have another room that they use sometimes for events. I'm curious if it's actually functional. So yeah, that's the 2nd floor. So if you go on the weekend and you want to run, come literally first thing in the morning, or you will have to wait like 1 hour. So it's a pain, let's just say. As I said, they have some partnership with like Peko. I think it's definitely an English model. I'm not sure which class it is, if it's Castle, Hall or anything else. I cannot tell the difference. But they do a bunch of stuff. So each month they will do an announcement, like all Japanese makers will make one with their new models and their release date. Some have release dates that are usually reliable, like KATO and Tomix. Some, like Micro Race, well, good luck. I pre-ordered a model that was supposed to come last February, so 1 year ago. Still waiting. They said they changed something and that's it. So since I will maybe leave Japan, I cancelled the pre-order. And you can see the 1st floor layout that we covered earlier from above. Well, let's get a bit closer. So we can see everything that's going on. So it is possible for clubs, like I said before, to actually book this layout. I'm not sure how much, when, but it is possible. I've seen it. Like they plug their whole system, they plug the whole system here. They had like a station to control everything, and then they had the whole thing in DCC, and they ran their American trains on this. They had some big boy with smoke, producing smoke. I don't think the KATO ones. The KATO ones, they don't produce any smokes, as far as I'm aware, unless they incorporated it. So maybe it was what's the brand, BLI? Broadway Limited, maybe. So they also sell literally this already pre-made. I think it's from NOC for 44,000 yen. I think no, it's a train here. It's not but for 62,000 you can buy this one. I believe it's from NOC. No. So it's convenient because it's short and small and doesn't take a lot of space. And you can save time and maybe money trying to make it. So it's an easy way to get something up and running, at least without too much hassle, but the curves are very short, so you cannot run everything on this. We also have some kits that they sell. And one of the most famous kits are those. So it's like a little diorama that you can build and you can put together, diorama circus. So they have curves and straight, and the result is something like this. So it doesn't cost a lot, and they have some workshop. In every convention I've seen them with a workshop or something for kids and stuff, so you can actually make it. We have the full kit here with everything you need to make it. And they also, fun fact, sell this one, and if you don't recognize it, it's literally the one in front. I don't know if this one comes with an engine, but I think you can purchase it separately. I think the motor came separately, so you can. This is the end of the tour. So since I bought the TGV recently, they agreed to give me the KATO container 60th anniversary. If you buy 6,000 yen worth of merchandise, you get it. It goes quite fast. So this is the end. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Might be my last video in Japan. We'll see. Bye!